Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here at the forum. My name is Paula Patrick. I'm a judge here in the City and County of Philadelphia. I'm uniquely qualified for the Superior Court, and that out of law school, I built a practice from the ground up. Originally, I'm from North Carolina. I came here out of law school, and I built a pretty successful practice, general litigation practice, for almost 10 years. I ran for judge in 2003. I've been on the bench ever since then. Unlike most people up here, I've sat in every major division of the Philadelphia County Court system. Of course, listening to thousands of cases. I started out in juvenile division, the family court division, the criminal trial division. Of course, I did a stint in custody as well. And of course, currently I am in the civil trial division. One of the things that I can say mostly about myself is that having been a trial lawyer, I learned the nuts and bolts of the practice. So I understand what practitioners, what they deal with. I also understand what trial judges do. And I've written over 400 opinions to the 3 state appellate courts in my tenure of being on the bench. And I'm running because I do believe that our Constitution should be preserved. I do believe that with my background and experience, I am uniquely qualified to render justice to all the citizens of Pennsylvania. Well, I've had the benefit sitting in Philadelphia County of being in a lot of high-volume rooms. Lots of high-volume rooms, whether it's in family, whether it's in criminal, even in the custody unit as well. And being a general practitioner, I've had a vast amount of experience. But I can tell you what's important in writing so many opinions. Of course, prioritizing, and of course, teamwork, and having a very strong work ethic. And that's what I have. I'm never afraid of a case. I'm never afraid of the volume of work. It's just a system that, as you look at it, you put in place your own personal system that helps you to be more effective and more efficient. And because I've learned to be effective and efficient, every courtroom I've sat in, I've always cleared the backlog, and I had no backlog. I would do the same at the Superior Court with the help, of course, of a great team. I think where I sit currently in the Civil Trial Division, Tenure has had a great impact with the civil cases. Obviously, it's still with products liability, and so Tenure, I would say, is one of those key cases. Another case would be the Robinson Township cases, wherein the court had taken away from the PUC the authority to hear land use cases, which is really big with shale and gas and so forth. I think some other cases relate to when the Supreme Court struck down the juvenile sex offender registration. And also, we're also dealing with in Philadelphia the aftermath of the juvenile lifer cases. So those are some of the main cases that I think have had a great impact on the Commonwealth, especially I've seen in the Philadelphia court system. My experience has been when I was a civil litigator, I did practice before the Commonwealth Court as well as the Superior Court. I also had cases in the Third Circuit as well. So I do have that level of experience as an attorney. Also, as a trial judge, my 14th year on the bench, I've had plenty of experience in writing opinions and, of course, reviewing records and sending the records up and so forth. But I think the philosophy of a Superior Court judge should be follow the law. It's important that the law is followed, and that a judge on the appellate court should never substitute their opinion for that of the trial court. The law and the facts are clear on the record. Unlike a trial judge, the appellate court has the benefit of looking at the entire record. And so the law should be something that the court should be interested in following, and I do believe that, because I also believe that justice should be done, obviously not on just the trial court level, but of course if it's appealed, it should be done at the appellate court level too. I think that all citizens deserve equal access to justice. Well, I think that judges should certainly be elected. I'll answer the last part first. And I'll say because someone like me, African American, female, I didn't come from a large law firm, I may not have had a chance. And if you look at the jurisdictions where judges are appointed, there is a lack of diversity in a lot of those situations. I think someone said that if you're not at the table, then you're probably on the menu. So I can say, running for the office, at least you get a chance to be at the table. And it's up to the voters to select who they would like to select. Now, when it comes to raising money, I mean, let's be honest here. It takes money to run for judge, and a lot of it. And I think that anyone up here would be remiss to not acknowledge that. And you have to reach out to family, friends, and other people. Now, as a judge, you have an obligation under the canons can you be impartial if someone appears before you? And the other question is there the appearance of impropriety? You have to answer those questions legitimately. And depending on what your answer is, you should recuse or you should not recuse. But I think it's very personal to the judge. But I can say that anyone given to my campaign, you don't get anything for it, except for just being a great judge on the bench. But that's it. But I do think that we should continue the trend of electing judges rather than appointing them, because there's going to be a group of people that probably will be overlooked. And I believe in being at the table. Well, even when I was a lawyer and I had my own practice, I've always been committed to diversity. One of the things I would do is I would hire young African-American females in high school to be my file clerks. Most of them came from single-parent homes, and I would mentor them, and they all graduated from college except for one. I had 7 of them during my tenure as an attorney. As a judge, I have always been adamant about having a very diverse staff. And of course, in my 14 years, I've had all types of people working for me from all backgrounds, and we have such an amazing time in the chambers with the diversity. It's great learning from other people and sharing, who you are. I believe that, since I've worked in the court system, I too have had not just high school students, but middle school students come to my courtroom, and a program that I started, A Day with the Judge, where I would have the children to come in, young people to come in, and they would observe the court and would see me in action from about 9:30 until about noon. I would then take them to the judicial dining room, and I would feed them lunch with my own money that I paid for lunch, and we would sit down and I would engage them in conversation as to what they thought about the process, because a lot of the kids, they always saw the justice system from a negative perspective, and it gave them a different perspective, and just to see them light up in the end at the discussion over lunch was just truly amazing, and it's just a feeling that I just can never forget. Also, I mentor at Strawberry Mansion High School, Women of Tomorrow program, and I do different things like that, because you have to remember where you came from and where you're going. Well, I come and that I'm different in that I have a very extensive trial record, not just as an attorney, but also as a trial judge. As I said earlier, I am the only judge here that sat in every major division in the largest court system in the state. I've sat in juvenile, criminal, family, as well as the civil trial division. The other thing about me is that I've written so many opinions that demonstrate my legal expertise that I'm very proud of. I was also highly recommended by the Pennsylvania Bar Association. That's one of the things that they pointed out about me, is that I've had such a broad range of experience that demonstrate my legal expertise. And obviously, I'm an African American female, so I bring a different perspective to the court, and I'm happy to do that. And I'm excited about the possibility of getting to the Superior Court. But I think that I have been throughout my career very, very hardworking, very focused, and interested in rendering justice, and I would do the same on the Superior Court.